Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mind. Today we're joined by head men's swimming coach Danny Murphy. And Danny, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Thanks, Luke.
Yeah. Well, we're going to break down the season just a little bit. You guys started out the season back in October of 2024. Maybe an unfriendly start to your season against Drury. Just talk to me about how you guys are feeling going into the beginning of the season.
We swim Drury every single year. They're always top 3, top 4 at nationals. Swimming them first meet again this year. Yeah. So going against the national champ as your first meet's always an interesting idea. But I like going into those meets because it shows us we can really swim with anybody in the country. We never go in and just roll over and let Drury roll us. So, we can say first swim meet, the hardest competition you're going to face till nationals. You've just swam against, so that's always a good thing.
And obviously Drury, the eventual national champions this season in the NCAA. But then you guys go to play William Jewell at home, play McKendree, Indianapolis on the road. Then you guys go to Kansas and you play Kansas and South Dakota. Kind of talk to me about that experience playing a couple D1 teams.
So that was another fun meet. We didn't actually swim against Kansas. Kansas only has a women's team, so we swam against South Dakota's men. They swam against South Dakota's women. It was a really fun meet. One of the things I started trying to do this year is have our guys swim in tech suits a couple times a year outside of our championship meets, just so we know how to feel swimming them. So getting to swim against a really good South Dakota team doing that was a really good opportunity. In swimming, there's not that much of a difference between the top end of Division II and the mid-major teams, so it was a really fun meet and really competitive. So we enjoyed going to that one.
Yeah, then you guys ended the 2024 calendar year against UMSL and Maryville up in St. Louis. Connor Bixel ended up winning the Player of the Week that month, December 20th. He won that. Talk to me about that meet. I mean, UMSL, Maryville. Maryville obviously doesn't have a program anymore, but just talk to me about the end of the year that you guys had.
Yeah, that's always a fun meet. UMSL is kind of one of our rivals. I used to swim against Tony back in college a very long time ago, so getting to compete against him as a coach is always fun. I think between the last 2 years, the year before last, UMSL beat us by 1 point, and this year we beat them by 1 point.
Yeah.
So it's always really, really competitive. We didn't have one of our better swimmers there. Archer, one of our Brazilian guys, was out of town at his Brazilian national championships, so that was a big blow to us, but it was good getting to step up and swim against them. They're always a fun team to swim, especially at home here.
Yeah, definitely. Then you guys flip the calendar, play Quincy, Truman, and Rockers before conference championships. Just talk to me about the build-up that brought on. You had 3 more meets until the conference championship.
So frankly, what I do is I just, we kind of beat up on them the first semester, so they're always competing pretty tired. And then we go through Christmas training. That's some of our hardest training we do the whole year. And then as we get out of that, we start going down in yardage every week, start picking up speed, trying to get faster every week. So it's nice having those 3 meets 1 weekend in a row so we can gauge how much faster they're getting, how much more speed work we need to do, and really zeroing in on what we need to do. So getting to swim against those 3 quality conference opponents 1 weekend after the other is always really fun.
Yeah, and on January 29th, Oscar Fritzel, he won the GLVC Player of the Week. Just talk to me about that day he had here against Rockhurst.
That was another meet where I let them suit up and just swim fast, and it was unbelievable. Freddie went, I think, 3 best times, 50 free, 100 free, and 100 back. 50 back, 100 back, 100 free.
Yeah.
So that was unbelievable, him getting to do that at our pool. We also broke pool records in the 100 fly in both the relays we swam that day. And getting to see Freddie do it there was awesome. And then, 3 weeks later at conference, he had an unbelievable meet there too. So it was nice seeing him get to back that up when it really mattered.
Yeah, and again on that day, Aiden Walters, he broke the pool record in the 200 free. Oscar Iden also broke a pool record on that day. Just a lot of records going down on that day against Rockhurst.
Yeah, it was fastest meet we've ever had in our pool, I'd like to think. So.
Yeah, definitely. And then going into conference, February 11th is when it started, the Great Lakes Valley Conference Championships. I think, probably one of your goals was to be the top 4. You guys wanted to edge out Lewis there because, the conference is just so loaded these days in GLVC swimming. Just talk to me about how you guys felt going into it and then coming out of it.
I mean, we felt good. I thought we had the talent to be able to get 4th. Obviously, we want to continue to move up, maybe get 2nd or 3rd or win at some point in the future. Yeah. But I figured 4th was probably the best we could do with that this year. And we went and we swam really well, barely beat Lewis. They were a very talented team, as shown where in a couple weeks after that at Nationals, they got top 10.
Yeah.
So it was really awesome for us to be able to showcase our depth to get that 4th place finish there.
Yeah, and I mean, Lewis was a top 10 team for most of the year, right?
They were, yeah.
At that meet, Connor Bixel, I mean, he had a career year for you this year, but a 145.85 in the 200 fly and a 145.37 in the 200 IM. Those are both S&T records. Just talk to me how he was feeling, and coming out of it, breaking 2 records.
He also got the 400 IM record as well, so that was good too. But I think he was really happy with how it did. We were really focusing on nationals this year, so we didn't go down as much with yardage and give him as much rest for conference as we have in years past, and he absolutely lit it up at conference. It's such an emotional meet that he just gets himself jacked up and ready to go. So I think he was thrilled with how he did there. He also won a best time in that 200 breast.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get our legendary school record from Miguel Chavez from back in 2015, but he's got one more year to try to get that.
I was about to say that he has one more year to try to do that next year, right?
Yes, he does.
And then you guys, going into nationals. I mean, you guys went to Last Chance as well, try to get any more times up there. So you guys go to jury, play jury again. Just talk to me about that experience. Any guys that may have gotten some times up at that meet?
Yeah, I mean, it's Last Chance. We've got some guys that wanted to maybe swim a little faster in some of the events than they did at conference. We got guys that are trying to go to nationals. Then we got guys that are trying to qualify relays there. So it's always a high-pressure meet. Drury's got a great pool, and they always put on a good environment. So it's always fun to go down there.
Yeah, and then you guys said you were ramping up for nationals. That took place in Indianapolis this season, March 11th. It was a long week, I'm sure, for you and your staff. But talk to me about how you guys think you performed and everything like that.
Very happy with how we performed. We were top 20, got 19th this year. We would have been 16th, but literally came down to 1/100th of a second. Connor jumped a little bit in the 8 free relay, but that's the name of the game. Whenever you're trying to compete, that happens. But overall, we swam great. I think Connor was the 7th or 6th highest scoring athlete at the entire meet. And then Aiden Walters had a All-American finish there as well in the 100 backstroke, and our relay swam really well. So really happy with how it went. Hoping this year to move up into the top 15, be close to the top 10 again. But yeah, last year was pretty great. Was really happy with how well our guys competed. The meet's just ridiculously fast and keeps getting faster. So.
Yeah. Just talk to me about that experience. I mean, the GLVC they represent that meet so well. Just talk to me about how how that feels for you and your guys.
It's awesome. I really like the way that our schedule worked last year, just with us swimming against all the GLVC teams, us swimming against South Dakota, and then going to IUPUI, which is where Nationals was for our midseason meet. So our guys knew the pool, knew how to prepare there, knew where the bathrooms were, knew everything. Like, you wouldn't think that's a big thing, but that's a big thing if you know which bathroom to go to that's less crowded to get changed in your tech suit. That's actually an advantage.
Right, yeah.
But, going into the meet, I tell the Nationals guys, you've already competed against the best guys here. I think GLVC is probably the strongest conference in the country. The Sunshine State is close, but I think we got them, definitely. So, if you can compete at the GLVC championships, you can compete at Nationals. The 200 IM final was 100% GLVC guys.
Yeah.
So you can do it there. You can do it in the big show too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, GLVC, the top 5 teams of the GLVC are all in the top 20 in the nation. I mean, that is just an incredible feat that you and your guys have to try to, live up to, right?
Yeah. And then there's other really good teams. There were 3 other GLVC teams that had representation at national. 4 other GLVC teams that had representation at nationals. UMSL, their women were 16th. Then Quincy had All-Americans. Rockhurst had their first ever qualifier. And William Jewell had an All-American on the women's side. So there's a lot of really good coaches and really good swimmers that were around at our meet. So
Yeah, definitely. One guy we haven't talked about yet is Adam Wiedemeyer. He was part of 3 relays in his career with school records, also a pool record. But he was a CSC All-American this year. Just talk to me about his performance and how you think he did.
He did great. We switched up his training a little bit this year. We focused more on the middle distance, which showed in a really, really good 200, but I think it affected his top-end speed. Next year we're probably going to do some more speed work with him because I think that's naturally just what he needs to work on a little bit more. But Adam's kind of the model citizen. The kid's a 4.0 psychology major, really, really smart. It's nice having a guy on the team where you don't have to worry about him working hard, whether that's in the classroom or in the pool, and his results show that hard work.
Yeah, and then talk to me about your graduating class this past season. You had 3 seniors that you graduated.
Yeah, that's a tough graduating class to take. We had Greg Dreisward and Fletcher Smith, who were IMers, butterflyers, great depth guys, conference scorers for us, really strong team leadership. And then our 1 year, Aiden Walters, graduated. He's kind of irreplaceable. He was school record holder in the 2 back, second fastest ever in the 100 back. I think like 4th fastest ever 200 free, and had some ridiculous relay splits for us. I'm happy with my freshman class for next year and think we can defray some of that loss, but losing those 3 is going to hurt.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit more about that freshman class you're bringing in, what they'll give you to your squad.
Yeah, we got 5 freshmen coming in, a lot of versatility in the class, kind of from all over the place. We have our first African ever joining the team, guy from Cape Town, South Africa. So that'll be fun. A couple of guys from Kansas City, a St. Louis guy, and a kid from Thibodaux, Louisiana. Oddly, we have a lot of Louisiana sprinters that have come through our program. I think he's like the 4th or 5th one to come through.
Wow.
So hopefully, I really like the talent we have coming in. They all want to be engineers. They all want to be good students. So it's going to be fun to see what they can do over the next 4 years.
And talk to me about that experience of you on the recruiting trail. You obviously have a unique story. You went here. You were a swimmer here. Not many people on this coaching staff can stay that on our Missouri S&T coaching staff. Just talk to me about that, maybe the unique recruiting trail that you and your team go on. Yeah,
I mean, it is different. I was talking with another coach at a similar institution at NCAA's, and she was like, I have trouble with the transfer portal because I don't know what their major is, because my school is like your school and it's basically only engineering.
Yeah.
So that's a limitation for us, but it's also a major, major strength, just because, engineering is such a specific thing, and 20 of the 22 guys on my team next year are some flavor of engineering major. So it's great. The S&T guy, that archetype is hard to find, but once you find them, S&T is really, really appealing to them. So.
Yeah, and you know that from being a student athlete here too, right?
Yeah. So I use a lot of the strategies that were used on me as a recruit back in the day from Doug Grooms. So I learned an awful lot from him. Eternally grateful for that.
Yeah, one of the most decorated coaches in S&T history. Just kind of talk to me about the experience you had as a player for him.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Grooms was a great coach. I improved so much under him, grew up a lot under him, and learned a lot under him, not only as a swimmer, but kind of whenever I was getting my feet wet as a coach. I was club coaching, and I was a volunteer assistant here for a couple of years, so I learned a lot on organization, on how to treat people, in addition to just the swimming part. So It was a great time. He was a bit of a hard ass. He was an old football coach. So if you were doing something he didn't like, he had no problem letting you know that.
Yeah.
But he taught us accountability, and we were really good back then. My freshman year, we were second at nationals. Sophomore year, we were third, and I think the other 2 years we were top 10. So he was obviously doing things right, and I'm trying to get the team back up to where he was back then.
Yeah, and just talk to me about how, swimming as a whole has just grown so much since you were a player. Players are just getting faster and faster every year, it seems like, right?
Yeah, it's gotten ridiculous. It's times that I did that were, top 8, top 10 at NCAAs are not even qualifying for the meet anymore. And I feel like I'm not that old. I know I kind of am, because it was 17 years ago, the first time I went to nationals as a swimmer, but it's just unbelievable how much it has gotten faster. Times that we're winning back whenever I swam are barely getting qualified anymore. I think it's the Michael Phelps effect, and then just more talent in the sport in general, and then just kind of the dilation the shrinking of the sport in itself. With kind of things that have happened up in the Division I level with the roster limits and all that. A lot of the speed is going to be filtering down to Division II. So I think in the next couple of years, D2 is just going to get even faster.
I was going to say, I think, you take pride in your program that you're a top D2 level. You can take down a lot of these D1 teams, right?
Yeah. We're definitely very competitive in most mid-major conferences. So.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Danny, last question I got for you. You're obviously very familiar with Rolla. You've been here a long time now. Just talk to me about some of your favorite Rolla things, maybe some advice to any incoming freshmen, that kind of thing.
My thing I've always said about Rolla is people complain about there not being too much to do around here. I think that's not true. There's plenty of stuff to do around here if you are looking to find stuff to do. It's a wonderful place to live. I always tell my swimmers, I chose this place twice. I chose this place as a athlete, and I chose to return as a coach. So it's a good place, fun place, and place to get one of the best educations in the world.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Well, Coach, thank you. It's always a pleasure, and we'll catch you next time.
Appreciate it.